Hi, Risa. Thanks so much for having me.
So, Jo Westwood is a spirit DJ, life coach, and very, very excited to have you as part of Festival of Doers. Would you kindly tell me and the viewers a little bit more about your work and who you are?
Yeah, sure. So I am a spiritual life coach and I work with high achieving women to help them get more connected to their true selves so that they can experience the best that their life has to offer in terms of their career and their relationships. And I'm also a Hay House author. So that's who I am and what I do. And as you said, I'm known as the Spirit DJ. And that comes from this vibe of, I believe that we all already have everything that we need within us. Like it's cheesy, but it's true. The oak lives within the acorn, right? And
Yeah.
so I believe that it's not about becoming somebody different, but it's about really remembering who you are. And so it's really just like about remixing everything that is already within you into better alignment, so that you can, as I say, really experience the best that life has to offer.
Oh, it's such a. I love that metaphor of mixing and kind of doing the DJ thing with yourself and kind of remixing the
Yeah.
elements so that they come out a little bit more kind of better better beat, I suppose.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, so you have a better beat to dance to in your own life, right?
Exactly. Oh, fantastic. Oh, it really, really resonates. And it's really what we say at Dream Woman is the woman you want to be, the woman you already are. So it really is
I
kind of sort of just kind of getting it out. So, how about in your own life? How do you define success? What does success look for you?
Okay, so success for me is really an inner feeling. Oh, sorry, just had a little bit of movement there. I've got my pup by the side of me who's
Yeah.
giving his input. Yeah, success for me is, and it's an inner feeling. It's it quite simply is a feeling of getting in bed at night and feeling like I did a really good job at my own life today. And whether that is in my work, whether it's with my clients, whether it's with my health, whether it's hanging out with my family, with my dogs, whatever it is, it's that feeling of thinking, you know what? In highest, clearest integrity, I did a really great job in my life today. I was invested, I was engaged, I was present. And it doesn't mean that everything went perfectly, but it means, because I'm a human being, shock horror like the rest of us, hey. So not everything is perfect all the time. It's not like all of a sudden everything is like lollipops and roses, but it's just that I did the best job with the resources that I had today, and I can go to sleep feeling happy and content and good about the effort that I put into my life today. That for me is success.
That's fantastic. I mean, I think we all can really learn from that aspect and that sort of attitude. But I think many people will be thinking now, so does that happen every night? Or do you always get there in terms of feeling that?
Okay, yeah, great question. She's straight in there, isn't she, everybody, with the hard hitting questions. Like she's not leaving anything to chance. I love it. For me now, because of the work that I do, and I do practice what I preach, and I do walk my talk, most of the time, I would say yeah. I would say 95% of the time, yes. Of course, like there are days when I think, I could have done better, that I could have done more to feel in integrity with me and what would feel best for me. But I now do try to see that as a learning opportunity. And I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, great. It's not that my life is perfect or I am perfect all of a sudden, but it's, if there's a night where that doesn't happen, that just opens up a space for me to make sure it does happen the next night.
Yeah, yeah. So that's what it is. Any setbacks are really disguised learning opportunities. Um, so it's looking pretty good right now for you in terms of how often you kind of get to that success state of mind in the evenings. Maybe it wasn't always like that. So is there anything you could share in terms of your journey, sort of what you've learned, or if there's been failure setbacks that really gave you a big lesson.
Oh, well, yeah, there's been loads of those. When you said, oh, maybe it hasn't always been like that, it made me think back to probably like 8-10 years ago, and my whole life at that time was just a struggle. Not because I had any reason really to struggle, but because of my own mindset and the way that I thought about myself, the way that I treated myself was just not very kind and not very compassionate and not very loving. I was not living in a very wholehearted way. And there certainly have been moments, like specific incidences, where I could say, wow, that was a real breakdown moment. But the thing that really comes to mind for me is actually 8-10 years ago, I would go to bed at night feeling like crap. I would go to bed at night and my last thoughts would be how much I didn't get done, how good I wasn't, all the failures that I'd had, all the places where I hadn't had success, and that meant that I was a failure. And, you know, from the smallest detail right up to like the biggest kind of career moves. And it was a horrible, horrible feeling. And I made my own life this incredibly hard struggle. And that was grim. Like, I was in my early 20s and I should have been footloose and fancy free. And I was held down by my own mindset. And it was really, really grim. And what changed that around for me was discovering, in a big way, was discovering my own spiritual practices of meditation and mindfulness and journaling, and really just connecting in with my inner truth rather than looking constantly for these outside markers of success, which will inevitably kind of always make you feel like a failure.
Yes, yeah. And that's really the theme and one of the key discussion topics at the Festival of Doers, so that we could encourage more women to really define success in their own terms and kind of not try to reach those sort of sometimes maybe very male signpost of success as well. And I think the internal struggle comes from that, because it's not yours and you're trying to kind of get to a place which you can't call your own at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So what would be, if you'd give like your most important top tip for anybody who's thinking, oh, there's something in here, I really want to do something amazing, maybe I need to change a couple of things, I want to start living life more to my own terms, what would be the way to get started? What would be your tip?
So my top tip would be, so as I've kind of discussed, I think that real, genuine, like deep down in your gut, in your heart, and your soul feeling of success comes from being in really strong alignment, feeling really authentic in your own life, and feeling like the choices that you make and the success that you're getting internally and externally feels in integrity with what you really desire. So I would say, take a really honest look at your life, and anything that doesn't feel authentic or in integrity with what you desire for your life, find ways to phase it out or let it fall away. So if there are commitments in your life, if there are people in your life, maybe it's the way that you're working, if it's your health, your diet, if there's anything that's out of alignment with who you really want to be, look at how you can either let it go or make a shift, and do it with love. So it isn't about beating yourself up and saying, oh, this is really bad, why did you let it get this bad, this is your fault. It's about saying, this could be better, and I have the power to decide and to make it better. So I would say, shed anything which doesn't feel authentic and in integrity with who you feel you truly are.
Oh, that's so useful. Thank you so much. Thank you very much, Jo. I can't wait until end of January when we meet live in London. And Jo is going to be running one of the breakout sessions after lunch. So make sure to book yours in. And a big thank you.
Thank you so much, Misa. It's been an absolute joy, and I'm so excited to meet everybody in January.